take you live to the heart of Johannesburg, that briefing on the second quarter statistics that has just concluded. Newzroom Afrika's Ziyanda Ngcobo set through all those presentations. She joins us live for a breakdown of those numbers. Ziyanda, thank you for joining us. Can you just give us the key takeaways from what we heard from the police minister this afternoon?
Lots to take away, not only from the police minister, but of course from Ngcobo, who was leading that presentation, talking about various crimes, the causal factors of those crimes. So if you're talking about rape, where's that likely happening? It's still the same case, Audrey, taking place as either at the residence of the perpetrator or home. Interesting to note that with murders largely coming from taking place in public spaces, and so these are the details that came out. The Western Cape overtaking KwaZulu-Natal yet again in terms of contact crimes. But a lot of the briefing as well, Audrey, really focused on the food contamination issues as well as Stilfontein. And I'm going to bring in the police minister to speak about that, because you've just pledged that you're going to intensify those efforts in Stilfontein. And another question, of course, was how long do you plan for this to go on for? It's a costly exercise.
Stilfontein.
Yes.
Yes, it's difficult, humanly speaking, to predict how long it is going to take us to get everybody out in that mine. But what we can say, we are resolved and very determined to do just that, because it's more dangerous to allow the thing to go on than to take any other action to intensify on the other hand to get them out. It's more costly and more dangerous to keep going like that. Now, we know we have to travel a thin line. People are talking about the rights of people and rights to dignity. We're aware of that. Police are the first one when there is an activity with a suspect, and perhaps the suspect runs away and they get and they injure themselves. Or yes, the police are the first one to pick that person, to take him or her to hospital. So it is in that context that we're operating in Stilfontein. Police will never say, because we're chasing you as a suspect for having done 1, 2, 3, die there, or we're just going to watch on you while you are bleeding. They have never done so. So we are very observant of the Constitution and of the legal framework in the country, but we are sure that those don't deter us from upholding the law and enforcing the law as it is, and we're happy that the court today has backed us on that matter.
Let's talk then again about today's statistics. In general, South Africans don't feel safe, Minister. Contact crimes, murder, attempted murder, car hijackings, you've at least seen a decrease there. You've also seen a decrease in cash and transit heist. But in general, then, it speaks to the intelligence, the criminal intelligence units. And, the National Commissioner has spoken about filling those vacancies, but that's quite critical, because if you look at instances of community-led intelligence, that is a more proactive approach than reacting to 18 people massacred in Lusikisiki.
Yes. Look, I mentioned in my statement that when it comes to intelligence, when it comes to forensics, when it comes to technology input in policing in South Africa, we're not where we should be. And it's something that we are working on, and it's something that we are intensifying, and we hope that we will, in the shortest space of time from when we started, we will get close to the level where we want things to be. I noted that you also raised an issue about what's happening in intelligence, court cases, and so on. That's not desirable. We completely have to change how we deal with matters in that division, because when you are in that groove and dealing with it's life and death for people. And now the impression that is being created by all these cases isn't what we want. But we'll get there as soon as possible.
South Africans are impatient, I would say, Minister, about many issues in society. Let me talk to you then about the issue of food contamination. And there was a very pointed question about, the level of preparedness that the police have if, the spaza shop owners, some belonging to, illegal migrants, do not meet that 21-day deadline, that there might be a spillover because of the agitation over the nearly 30 deaths of children so far. And you've spoken about a lot of coordination between, departments. Do you feel let down by some of your sister departments in terms of dealing with these issues? And then you now must perhaps be ready after those 21 days for any possible unrest.
Let me just start by saying tomorrow in the afternoon, JCPS is meeting and will get updates in terms of how far registration has gone or not gone so that we are able to assess the situation. When it comes to coordination, it's clear that all of us have to tie up our shoes tighter and pull up our socks higher and sit together, plan together, work together, and don't allow an undue gap to open up. Because, like as an example, when I got to Stilfontein and I asked questions to police, now that you got all these people from underground, how is processing going? Are you happy? And they said they're not happy because the process is slow. Now, sometimes a sister department, you could see that you need flexibility, you need to rise to the occasion of the time and not say, no, we don't do that, even if there's an abnormal situation, so that we don't have a problem of space and so on. So those are the things that once we operate closer, we don't talk about them and us. You talk about what needs to be done and what is your role, what's my role. And then you make sure that you uphold the law in South Africa and you are effective and you are efficient.
I wonder how much confidence South Africans still have after those second quarter. Crime statistics were released for the period from July till the end of September. As I've reflected, Audrey, some improvements in some areas, a decrease in crimes such as rape, a decrease in crimes such as cash and transit heist, but then an increase in contact crimes such as murder and attempted murder, and a very detailed breakdown of how it happens, what weapons are used, where it usually happens, giving a picture then of the state of play in South Africa today.